Hey guys, got another knife review flying your way. Get it? Bird knife? So, I know it's not funny, but Byrd Cara 2 FRN, and I gotta tell you guys, this is a big improvement over the previous Byrd Cara. I still love this knife, I still think it's a great knife, but this is a better one. Primarily, I see this as being, I think a lot of people will everyday carry this, EDC it. I think a lot of people will do that. I'll probably do that. But it is on the large side for an everyday carry knife, around a 3.5-inch blade, approximately. So it's a big knife. It could definitely flex into the tactical role very easily as either a knife that a police officer, a soldier, a responsible civilian would carry as a defensive weapon, maybe an offensive weapon if you're a soldier. But it's definitely something that could save your life. And it's definitely got the traction plan on there. It's got a good enough grip that I would feel comfortable throwing it into that roll. You got jimping in the Zytel or the FRN on the top here. That's actually good. It's very rare that the jimping in FRN is actually useful, but this is. You got great jimping and a good thumb ramp on the top here. You got jimping in the choil here, the choil there, and it's FRN, but this has that awesome bi-directional texturing on it, so you're gonna get a great purchase on this knife. I would not fear at all coming up in kind of a thrust movement with this at all. So your blade on here is made out of 8CR 13 MOV steel. Very familiar steel to a lot of knife people, I think. It's been out for a while. I like it. It's a good steel, very similar to AUS 8. I think everyone says that. But it is. It's a good steel. It's going to hold the edge decently well. Easy to resharpen. Definitely, if you're in moist environments, you want to keep a little a little oil in there so it doesn't rust. But I like it. It's a good steel. This is a full flat ground blade, which the previous Byrd, this one right here, was hollow ground. I liked this hollow grinding for the strength it provided. So I didn't really ding this on that hollow grinding. I like it still, but it's definitely, I prefer the full flat ground. And also, if you look at this one, there was kind of this kind of weird hump in the blade right there. I really didn't mind it that much, but I know a lot of people, it kind of bugged them. They went away from that. They just went to kind of the classic shape. And this knife is really kind of, I think in a lot of people's minds, kind of, I guess what you call a poor man's Endura. Very similar texturing, and it really is a very similar knife. And you see they went to more of the kind of the Endura look. So I like the blade, definitely. 3mm thick, it's a good thickness, strong, still sharp, and they have an excellent relief edge on there. It comes very sharp from Spyderco, and it's going to be easy to resharpen. It is a Chinese-produced blade. I know a lot of people don't like that. I prefer a U.S.-made blade if I can get it, but the price point they're bringing this in at, I'm not going to complain about the China at all. Your handles on here are fiberglass reinforced nylon. I like that material a lot. It's very lightweight. This thing comes in at 3.4 ounces, so for a knife of this size, that's excellent. Very lightweight. They have stainless steel liners in there. If it'll focus. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Let's get some light on there. It's got stainless steel liners, and they are skeletonized heavily in some spots. That's awesome. If they can do that in like about a $25 knife, which is around where this is coming in at, which is awesome value. If they can do that in a $25 knife, skeletonize it. I know it adds cost, but dude, if I get like a $50 knife and it's not skeletonized, come on. They do it in this knife. So, skeletonized, lightweight, it's mini Torx pit construction, and it features a version of that bidirectional texturing that's on like the Delica and the Endura. It's excellent. It provides good traction, and they do make a G10 version of this knife also. Very, very nice looking knife. I like it. But, this is kind of a utilitarian looking knife. If you wanted, it doesn't really have a lot of cool factor to it. If you wanted a really, cool knife, you'd probably go with the higher quality, the Endura, because or the Delica if you're looking for the smaller one, because you can get the different color handles, you get the better steel, you get a thumb hole instead of this kind of funky bird eye. So this is really what I kind of view as a kind of a work knife, kind of very utilitarian. And in that role, I prefer this FRN over the G10, because the G10 is kind of medium traction. Well, this is too. This provides plenty of traction. This is lighter weight, more affordable. So for pure utilitarianism, the FRN beats G10. That's just how I view it. So your opening mechanism on here, as I mentioned, is this kind of weird bird's eye looking thing, and it's I don't know. It works. It does have one advantage over the spider hole. It is just a little bit bigger. So if you're wearing gloves and you got to get this out fast, it is just a little bit easier. But I'd probably still prefer the spider hole. Mostly just for aesthetics. It looks kind of funky, but I guess that's what you get with the bird line. Your lock on here is a back lock, so excellent. Going to be strong, not as strong as like the Cold Steel Triad lock. I think as strong as a frame lock. I don't really want to get into that debate, but I think it's going to be plenty strong. Is I guess the point I'm trying to make. For all realistic uses, it's going to be enough. If your lock's not sturdy enough on here, then you probably need to either go to like something like a Cold Steel Triad lock, or even stronger, go to something like a fixed blade, if you're really just going to thrash on the blade. By the way, your lockup on there, rock solid, both ways. Actually, just a hair, very small amount of up and down. Just a hair. I think you get that a little more with back locks than other designs, but definitely very good. Your clip on here, it's good. The retention on it's decent. It's not amazing, but it's good. I like the silver clip actually. I think a lot of people would wish it was blackened. I don't mind it too much. I guess if you're a soldier, somebody that you have to have this blackened, you can easily do that. Spray paint it, Duracoat it, whatever. But if you have to have an all black knife, I mean, you need a coated blade too. So that's gonna be a project if you want to blacken this out. So you got your nice clip on there. It's not super low riding, which none of them are in this line. The Endura, the Delica, they're just not low riders. Not like the excellent Buck Vantage. That's how you should do a clip, Spyderco. But I can tolerate it. I've carried these knives a lot. It's not that bad. It does make it just a little bit easier to pull it out of your pocket. And I can see if this was a tactical knife and you had to get it out of your pocket like right away, it would be helpful just to have a little bit sticking out of there. So I like it, and it is fully 4-position. You can put it all 4 corners of the knife, so that's great. If you're a lefty, this thing's going to work perfect for you. Ambidextrous opening, back locks, totally ambidextrous. This thing's going to work great for you. So I love it. Now, one thing that I've noticed, which is, I don't know, not something I've really heard anyone else talk about, and it may not really be all that important, but it's the opening, just kind of the smoothness of the action. The Endura, it's actually a little stiff. Not awful, but you can tell there's a strong spring in there. And it's smooth, it's nice, it's crisp, but just slightly hard. Not really that bad, but harder than these ones. I loved the action on here. It's super smooth. And the spring in there is much weaker, you can tell. Makes it super easy to open, really fast. I love that about this one. I was a little disappointed when I felt this one. It's not really gritty, but it's just not totally smooth when you open this one. It's not hard. It's about maybe just a slightly lighter spring than the Endura. So it's just kind of one of those nitpicky things, that it's not quite as smooth as these other two versions. But it probably would smoothen up a little, get a little easier with time with using it. This one's pretty new. So overall, I think it's a great design, better than the G10 version for utilitarianism. Great value, $25. I mean, that's hard to beat. There's the Rat 1, the Ontario Rat 1, several other designs out there, some Kershaws, but great value. it's a great knife. It's a home run. It's hard to beat it. So there it is, guys. Hope that was helpful. I'll just give you a quick size comparison to some other stuff, I guess. Might as well. So here's the lineup. These three. Let's throw a Delica in there. Here is the Metal Arc. This is the little brother. I'll have a review out on this too. This is a great everyday carry knife. The Buck Vantage Select Small. This is what I'm carrying today. The H&K 14205. Totally different price point, but great knife. So there it is, guys. Hope that was helpful, informative. If you have any questions or comments, that's what the comment box is for. So I'd be happy to help you out. So thanks, guys. Everyone have a nice day.